Hello, everybody. So, yesterday's Love Island was drama. Like, it was completely dramatic. I'm a fan of Huda and Chris's relationship, but I feel like Americans voted the right people. Because imagine if after that date of Huda and Chris, and then we announce them as the winners, do you think that Twitter and Chris would have split that money, that 100K? I doubt. Maybe money doesn't buy anything. They would have split the money into two, but everybody's reaction towards Chris and Huda. Oh my god, like Huda broke up with Chris on their final date. So definitely we get to see that it was a romantic date. Chris was carrying Huda to the dinner date. It was all smiles from east to west. And then we get to find out that Huda announced, can we be friends? I know we can be friends from the outside. And then Chris's face, like the first expression changed, because how can you do such a thing? Like Chris was ready to work things out from the outside the villa, and then Huda cries, and then Chris was like, it's your decision, why are you crying? So definitely I think that we didn't expect this. I expected this, but not on the final date. Like, imagine, like Chris was pissed off. At the end of the date, we get to see that Chris walked away, and Huda was like, are you going to please carry me, or should I walk? Chris was like, I'm not carrying you. I'm not going to carry you. Other people are like, if Chris carried Huda, that would be like, felt like a gentleman, and maybe in the outside they would have worked out that Huda needed that. Huda is an adult. How do you expect someone that you have broken up with trying to fix stuff, and then the person has to carry you back to the villa? Like, so we get to see the roller coaster. Chris slept in the soul tie because he didn't want to share the same bed with Huda. Trust me, he didn't want to share the same bed with Huda because he felt disappointed. And at the end, congratulations to Amaya. We get to see that Amaya won. And then opening the envelopes, Amaya had the 0K, and then Brian had the 100K, and then they split the money. So definitely they ended up kissing. It was such a romantic date. But guess what? For Huda and Chris, they had an emotional speech together that left all the fans surprised. But hopefully they become friends, but we don't know if it will really work out because Chris said, I can't even be friends with you the outside. Like, I have to heal. So if I'm to read some of the comments and what people have to say, they're like, Huda needs to go, take care of her kid. She's not ready to be in a relationship. Then Huda and Chris done wasted everybody's time. Chris always wanted Cherry. That's why he coupled up with Huda to stay in the villa. That is wrong. The way Chris just doesn't care. I feel like Huda was provoking Chris, like not being respectful towards the communication. And later on, it ended in tears. Like Huda was crying. I think that's why at the end we get to see that uh Chris was explaining to Brian about it, and he was putting on shades. And then in the night, Amaya felt disappointed because like Brian and Amaya have always been in their relationship, like trying to fix stuff, but knowing that at the end of the final date they broke up, that really broke their hearts because they really tried. So, oh my god, Huda. Huda really disappointed. I'm a fan of Huda. I thought that Huda would really work things out with Chris. Their parents really. So we really don't know. But let's wait and get to see outside the villa what they have to talk about. And we can't wait for the reunion, guys, because it's going to be epic. Trust me.